What's going on, guys? My name is Jordan and welcome to another video. Today we are going to be discussing Hearts of Iron 4 modding, and we're going to be making a focus tree with this tool I've created. You can find it at hoi4modding.com/national-focus, or just go to the main website and there's a link there. Anyway, I'm going through the beta version because I'm still working on this, and there are a few things in the beta version which I'm not confident to push to release just yet, but they work, so I'm going to show them off in this video in hope that when the video is uploaded in about a week's time it should be full release. So you see we have a few different options here. The help, it's alright, but it needs a video tutorial there, so that's what I'm doing today. So we're going to start out and just have a look at some of these extra options before we go through actually creating a focus tree. The first one is import. So the website has a backend database which you can access using passwords. So for example, if you wanted the English focus tree, which is one that I've added, and given it a specific password of ENG, you can select your focuses that way. So if we wanted to add some of these, we can click them and add them, but we're not going to include any of these because they aren't very good for explaining stuff. And here we have a text box which you can copy and paste a focus tree into. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Games, Common, Hearts of Iron 4, Common, National Focus, and I'm just going to open up Australia's here. So if you wanted to include Australia's file, you can do that. And as before, instead of using a password, you can use an existing focus tree. The only thing to note with this is, if you do that, then you will not have names, you'll just have the IDs. So if I just add that in there to show, you'll have AST additional militia training instead of Australia or militia training or whatever the Australian focus is. I can't remember the name. So I'm just going to delete this out. We can use delete mode for that, and just click on it. And then don't forget to uncheck it, or else you're going to start deleting stuff when you intend to edit it. So the next one is save. You can save to storage. So if you do this, then you will reload the web page and all your focuses will stay there. You can close down your browser, come back another day, and it will still be there. Save to server. This one will upload it to the database, so you can access it using the password that we saw in the import. So up there, you'll be giving a unique password once you've uploaded it to the server, and then you can put that password in and access it either on the same browser or on someone else's browser. You can export the files, which we'll do later, and then there's a little bit of a help box here which I need to change for the beta stuff because a few things have changed since that was written. We're just going to close that down just to make it a bit smaller because it gets in my way. We're going to add the first focus. So we're going to call this first focus test, and the description is just going to be this is a test focus. And we're going to make this a political power focus. So we're going to choose that icon. We're not going to say anything bypasses this, so the focus will always be doable as long as it's available. The available, this is if you want a focus to only be available in certain situations. For example, if the country is at war, then yeah, but we don't really need that for adding political power. Mutually exclusive, if you have two focuses that you want to have either this or that done, then that's what that's for. But we don't have another focus, so we can't really do that. Prerequisite, if you have a focus that needs to be done before this focus that you're creating. Again, we don't have another focus, so we can't do that. And AI will do factor. This is how likely the AI is to do this focus if there are multiple available. So we want this one to be the first one they do, so I'm just going to put that all the way up to 10. Generally, you can do this in any amounts. Most of the Paradox made focus trees, I think, just go 1 and 0. But there might be a few that do 2, I'm not too sure. Time to complete, how many weeks it's going to be. The focus trees can only go in 7-day increments, so the minimum is 1 week. This one we're going to say it's only a week. And where you want it to be on the focus tree. So if we just close that down, we can reopen that and it's fine, so don't need to worry about closing it. So 0, 0 is all the way in the top left here. and then 100 is all the way down there. Obviously this expands for the size, otherwise you'd have very tiny focus trees. So we're going to go with 0, 0 for this first one just to keep it easy. Complete tooltip, you generally won't need to do this unless you're doing something special like adding a political advisor or something like that. Something which doesn't actually show the reward. So we can leave that blank. And finally the reward. So we have a few different default ones here. I'm going to add a few more in, I think. I'm hoping some people give me some suggestions on what they think should be a one that you can just click on and add it easily like these. When you click on these you can see what the output will be at the default one. So obviously this one is going to be adding a military factory to a state and any one of them. So we don't really need that one. We're doing a political power focus I think we'll do for this first one because it's a generic one. So we can do it by that, or we can search for it if what you're looking for isn't here. I'm going to do it this way, add political power, and again as you see it's the exact same. Oh, that is the same one. It's that one which has just been added. I get confused with the list because it adds it twice technically. So we're going to add that, and we're going to say that you get 100 political power for completing this focus. Just click submit and it will add it into this reward box. It will add it in a bit of a weird way. You might sometimes get line breaks and whatnot. Don't worry about that. It will be removed when you actually upload the focus tree. And then once you're done, submit. And now we see we have test in 0, 0. So let's add another one. And you'll see a few things stay the same, such as the AI will do factor and the time to complete. This is so that if you're working on a high priority list, you can start with all the 10s and then go on to your 2s and 3s or whatever. But we're going to drop that down to AI will do factor of 1 now. It's not needed. And the default is 10 weeks. Every focus generally is 70 days or 10 weeks. There are a few which are higher, but we're going to keep it on 10 weeks for now. So we're going to go generic build 1. And this is going to be add civilian factories. And because we're adding civilian factories, we're going to go with... we'll go with that one. That's quite a generic one for civilian factories. Available. And what we're going to say is at war. So has war with... where has that disappeared to? I don't know. That's impressive. I've actually lost it. I said this is a beta, so stuff like that will happen. I forgot about this. This is a tag selector. What country are we going to be at war with? I really need to put a search for country so I don't get confused. That's my bad. So, if we're at war with the German Reich, this really should be an available, not a bypass, reward. So, oh yeah. So if it... sorry, I'm really confusing myself now. So, if we have a war with Germany, then we can do this focus. And we're going to say this is going to be at location of 0, 2. Bear in mind when you're adding focuses that they go sort of overlap. They will overlap if you go 0, 0, 1, 0, 2. So try and leave 2 when you're going across the horizontal. And the reward for having a war with Germany will be adding a civilian factory. That was the wrong way round. That should be 2, 0. X and Y, Jordan. X and Y. There we go. So generic build 1. And then what we're going to say is generic build 2 will be add a military factory. Just making sure I didn't enable delete mode accidentally there. That would have been bad. We'll have that one. And there'll be no prerequisites for this other than you need to choose a thing. Now, because we imported the Australian focus tree, all of those will show here. This is... I need to sort this out really, but I don't know whether to keep this as a feature or not. It was a bit pointless if you don't actually add them though. But anyway, we're going to say generic build 1 is the pre-focus for this. So you have to have done generic build 1 before you can do generic build 2. And this is going to be on X is 1 and Y is 1. And then the reward for this is going to be add a military factory. And submit. And you'll see this is sort of what your focus tree will look like in game. So once you're done building your focus tree, you might have built a load more stuff in here. I don't know. Once you're done, you just go export files. I'm going to call this focus tree. If you put spaces or anything like that, it doesn't matter. It will get removed as it says here. This is just your focus tree ID. Generally, you want to try and avoid spaces and whatnot, just because, well, the focus tree IDs can't have spaces. Now we're going to choose a language. The language is English. And the focus tree for this, we will say this is France. Oh, the tag chooser doesn't work here. Need to fix that as well. Anyway, so we're going for A, which is France. Press export focus and you get your focus tree here. And let's actually move that onto screen. If it stays, there we go. And you'll see that you just get a folder in here. Ignore the numbers. It's just numbers. You don't need that. You need these 4 files here. If you have added any custom graphics, which I should probably show that off before leaving. We have this option here to choose your own file. So I'm not going to put this in on the... Oh, that's not a PNG. I should actually choose a PNG file, because you can only use PNG files for this. Do I actually have a PNG file that's the right size? No, I don't. So we're just going to use that one, which is PNG. It's very large, but we'll use that. And test. Doesn't really matter for these because this isn't going in the tree. It's just so you can see you can have your own custom files, and these will export and they will be usable in game as well. Just remember it has to be a PNG. So let's just get rid of that because that looks very ugly. Go away. Odd. Anyway, as we were saying, focus tree. So again, if you have custom graphics, these 2 folders are needed. If you don't, then you don't need to copy these over, but we'll do anyway. So we were in the right folder earlier. Let's go back to that. I've created a custom mod already. This is a mod for Hearts of Iron. It's just my testing mod. Blank folder. And all we need to do is copy those folders out of the zip file into there. And now if we go to Steam and start Hearts of Iron 4. Now this is where I can see if OBS will record this or not. Looks like it will. My test mod is enabled, so let's see if the mod actually loads, shall we? Okay, so let's just create a new game. Doesn't really matter about anything. We're just going to select our dear leader, Edouard Daladier here. I'm sure we said this was French. I think we said this was French. It took about 5 minutes for the game to load. I don't know why. Let's... We've got old Doggo here giving us a few errors, which is fine. But as you can see, our test is available on our generic build. As you can see, is at war with German Reich. Nope, so we can't do that. But we can happily start our focus to get 100 political power. Let's just go a week and get that, shall we? You can see we're getting that very quickly. And that's it. That's all there is to it. If you have any questions, or if you have any suggestions for what our focus tool here should do, you can always, if I get the right link, you can always go and help out on GitHub, which is George25 Hearts of Iron 4 Focus Maker. Hearts of Iron National 4 Focus Maker. You can say it correctly. I will be also doing some localization stuff in the near future, so if you do speak 2 languages, that would be very helpful, because my French, my German, what else was I? Norwegian, my Japanese, these are all very, very bad. So I'd love it if there was some, I don't know, some German, some French, some Spanish, etc. If you guys could all help out, that would be great. I'd love it if we can have this in multiple languages. As you can see here, this is a mod that I've actually saved to the server, not to the server, to storage. It's actually a great example of it. So this was actually done using that method. If I hold for the right one, that method. Then when we reload the page, it came back, and as you can see, we're using a custom icon here. I can't remember where I saved that. That's the one I wanted to try and find. Anyway, I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below, or you can ask them on GitHub. There's a Paradox Plaza forum post for this. There's a few different forum posts on Reddit for this. One in HOI4 modding and one in HOI4 itself. And that's about it for today, guys. Do hope you enjoyed. My name's John, and I'm out. I'll see you next time. Bye.